Total Spanish.
Thank you, Zai. I don't know why it's using this webcam. Let's just pretend this isn't happening right now. For just those that don't know, because it's very important information, as we have a pause here, so it doesn't really matter what we talk about. My power went out literally 2 minutes before the game started, and for whatever reason, a Windows update automatically activated upon restarting the computer, of course. And now it's using the backup cam that I use for only our private streams with Cinderin. So really apologize for the horrible colors, the horrible angle that makes me look very thin. Cinderin, how are you doing?
Shannon, do you remember? You probably remember because it was a few days ago. You were like, "Why do you always laugh at the intro?" And then I was like, "Today, this is what we get." I was trying really hard, and then I look at it and I'm like, "This is the best angle ever to introduce the commentator to."
Yeah,
so
for those that not to tout this anymore, but because we are paused, we can talk about whatever we want. When we do the podcast, this is what Cinderin looks at, that angle all day. He doesn't actually see the regular good 60 FPS cam.
I think I actually do, because I just watch you on the stream with like 3 seconds delay instead of that angle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
well, that explains.
No, I'm not gonna watch that angle if I can avoid it. But yours are screwed. Game. Unlucky.
Cinder, this is a best of 3 upper bracket finals between VP and Viking. Who a lot of people, when the tournament began, kind of wrote them off as being, you know, this tier 2, we've talked about this so many times, I know, but the fact that they're in the upper bracket finals now is crazy. It's really cool to see. How do you like this lineup for each respective team?
I like VP more, I think, and not just by 55-45. I think it was Lacoste who said that. I think this DP last pick is incredible, this game. It just has so much going for it. It has 3 good lane matchups. It's probably going to lane against either Tide or Doom in mid, both of which it should dominate. It has the Slaughter Amp that it works with. It gives them the Roshan potential and the Radiant. And when you look at this dire side lineup, I guess the one thing DP doesn't have in this game is a save. So if you do manage to get the Doom off in DP before she ultis, maybe you can get that kill and kind of snowball the fight from there. But big fan of what VP have brought to the table in this game. Big fan of them right now in general. I think they're the hottest team right now, as the panel covered ever so well. But with that said, Viking GG have... Sorry, what's
that? The hottest team, Cinder. Who's the coldest team right now?
Oh, I don't know. That's we don't need to hang anyone out to dry like that.
Thanks, Cinder. I knew you'd dodge another question.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living.
Oh, they're smoking. This could be a potential first blood. Shad, it's gonna take. Looks like he's fine. They just tickle him. They get off the Crystal Nova, and that's about it.
Nova level 1 is not that strong. It's a 20% slow for 4.5 seconds. So one of the weaker slows in the game, but it is of course AoE and does decent damage. Now that we talked a lot of nice stuff about VP, I want to quickly say for Viking, I think the thing that their lineup does exceptionally well is that in many ways it's a very good PA game. So if they manage to itemize correctly and make Shad strong with like a Solar Crest or and a Vlad's that's likely coming out of the Tidehunter, and they will have the Overcharge, this PA can destroy in the right situations, and they have the cast to set it up. You have the catch of the Earth Spirit, you have the Doom on a key target, and you have 1 AoE ability in Ravage to make sure you can fight around it. So I definitely see a way to victory for them. My main concern is, are the lanes going to go well, right? It means a lot in Dota right now, and I just love what VP have in that aspect of the game.
All right, well, with that in mind, that's a perfect segue, Cinder. What a professional caster you are. Let's talk about those lanes, shall we? So top lane, we're going to have Save on the Windrunner, Windranger. It's just never going to be a thing. Slardar, Windranger versus the IOPA. Looks like a lot of harassment potentially coming the way of Shad, but do you think he's going to be able to farm to a degree that he'd be happy with?
I'm thinking that once Slardar and Windranger hit level 3, this lane might become pretty difficult. You have options on Slardar. You can go 1-1-1, you can go 0-1-2, depends on the preference in the lane what you want to do. And Windranger starts getting really strong with that level 3 when you get 2 in power shot. It's a 250 damage nuke. You could get the Shackle in this lane. I do favor VP in this matchup, and then in this meta, if you win your off lane, it's really good, right? The safe lane has the advantage of the tower, which I wouldn't say it's overlooked, but I think maybe not appreciated enough how much it matters that you're within tower range in the beginning of the game. Like having the extra armor, the extra regen, just helps so much. So if you're able to win that lane, you're very happy.
All right, let's talk about the bottom lane because I want to focus on mid in a second here. But Crystal Maiden and Void versus the Earth Spirit Tide. Do they have enough to actually kill a Tide Hunter? Oh, get pretty close here. Frostbite to start things out. And with a time walk and a couple more right clicks, it might be enough. Dead. Toby, the right click's not enough from Ilias as of yet. He's going to pop this out to delay this even further. The Crystal Nova on the right click. Epileptic Kid with the first blood. I think I just answered my own question.
Yeah. Earth Spirit Tide don't really have that much pressure potential in this lane because the amount of stun and silence duration that they have doesn't, unless you skill silence on level 2 on Earth Spirit, which is very unusual and most of the time in this kind of lane won't really do enough. It's hard to pressure the Void. He can always time walk off the Anchor Smash plus roll / kick, so you have to space out your abilities. Then we have what the panel talked about, this the Maiden, which can constantly spam these 2 melee heroes when they come in close. She can just Nova them, and Void might even get Dilation to not get anchored multiple times in a row. So it's just, I don't really think there's that much pressure potential against the Void. But at the same time, the Tide should also be farming. So it's probably pretty even. And once Tide hits level 3, maybe you even have the luxury of rotating with Earth Spirit. We had another game the other day when we cast where I think it was a Timber Saw Earth Spirit lane. And it was actually VP playing that strategy with BM on the Timber. They got their Timber level 3 and the Earth Spirit was just like, alright, have a good game. I'm just gonna, go do whatever I want because you're fine. Tide could definitely get in that position here.
Well, speaking of Tide again, taking some more harassment in the bot lane as Armis has joined back to help out Toby in this off lane. Okay, the mid lane is the most interesting to me because it's Death Prophet versus Doom. Typically, Death Prophet is going to be fighting its melee heroes, but looking at the CS, it's pretty close. Boom has also gotten an ice armor creep, so won't have to worry about as much physical damage right now as he's going to take Spirit Siphon in the face. What do you think of this matchup? It's not something we see all too often these days.
I think it's relatively heavily DP favored. Maybe I'm a little bit biased in that, and I overestimated slightly. Yeah, the Doom CS is okay, but let's remember at least one of his creep kills is a Devour in the jungle, and he has 1 deny against 8. So DP is going to get a pretty sizable experience advantage, currently up by half a level, I'm at 4. I would say I would favor DP in this lane every single time, no matter what creep Doom gets, but I think good news for him, this might be the best one he can have, is that ice armor. So at least that's something for him.
And now
we'll get a bottom
the double
lane,
damage will spawn bot rune as bot as well. GPK looking for it, but Armish is just going to take it away. See if he can use that to his advantage to potentially get a kill in the bot lane, but I don't should be losing this lane, but not losing as much as I thought he would be for sure. Being forced out of lane for now, has pretty much no regen to speak of aside from the old Devour and whatnot.
Yep. Curious to see how his skill
yeah,
builds.
it's mostly the denies.
If he's gonna go full greed and actually max out that Devour, seeing as the lane is unfavored, so he can't really play that aggressive with Scorched Earth. Or if you look at it the other way around and you max Scorched Earth so that you can make moves in other lanes because you know your matchup's this bad. Glyph coming in from GPK mid, he keeps the creep alive to put that extra pressure, doesn't get the kill, but Boom is very low once again.
Yeah, not a whole lot he can do. I mean, one big change they made, this has been like a year now at least, Devour doesn't scale in terms of cooldown at all if you level it up.
Yeah.
But still, if you're going to be forced to jungle like you're talking about, it might be the best route to take.
The health regen is also really nice in this lane, right? If you're being dominated, you have the armor from Ice Armor, and now you get 9 HP regen constantly from this Devour. Might be able to sustain at this point. I would argue to an extent that damage has already been done in a way. DP is ahead by 200 gold against a hero that innately gets more gold than you. So he's already winning the lane. But Doom, I agree with you. He's doing better than I thought he would in this matchup. So,
like the panel was talking about how it was kind of a deny pick because it would have been a really good one for VP. How do you think this fits into Vikings lineup? As we're going to have to hold that thought because Exorcism is popped in the mid lane.
Oh,
Boom.
good Jackal.
Looks like he's going to initiate it by save. This could be an easy kill, and it is for VP. And with this Exorcism, I don't think that Viking can really stay here. They're just going to get chased off. Aramis doesn't have any way to get away as of right now, so he's just going to get Spirit Siphon and brought down. So 2 easy kills for GPK, and the tier 1 tower is going to take heavy damage, if not fall. But the fortification is popped. Still, they have a siege wagon here.
This is awesome rotation. I don't think you expect this one, right? It's a Wind Ranger level 4, making the rotation over, getting a Shackle shot, you get that kill, you try to help with Wisp, you get an extra kill on Earth Spirit. Not only do you get these kills, you almost take the mid-tier 1 tower, you force TP rotation. Actually 2 of them, I believe. Earth Spirit TPing in now, Doom TP'd after dying. So 2 TPs, almost tower, 2 kills. And in the meantime, DM is having a field day top. PA can't play this lane alone against Slugger with anything else than Stifling Dagger. You're gonna get a creep once in a while with your dagger, but you can't walk up to the CS. You're gonna get crushed, you're gonna take a bash hit, and the damage is too much. So now Io's back, and Shad will change his approach. Play more aggressively again.
Yep, the save is back as well. One nice little detail, they obviously were initiating onto the mid. They weren't really scared of Doom because he was still level 5, and it was just about hit level 6, so it was really good timing for VP. As now Boom is level 6, going to be popping that Scorched Earth in the jungle with some of these camps, so this will help catch him up to a degree. But again, this tier 1 tower is very low, and actually is deniable now. We'll see if they end up taking that for VP or if the deny actually comes through.
Sympathies.
I think Aramis really wants that deny. I wonder... I'm trying to make a good reason to not deny it now. Like, you know it's going to get pressured. It's relatively easy. Your heroes might not be ready. Yeah, there's the value of having the tower right now, so you can TP and maybe make a move, but if your Doom isn't interested in being there, is it even worth it?
Radiant's middle tower is under
Bottom
attack.
lane, Crystal Nova. We still have a Chrono Spear if needed, and GPK has come as well. So with that Spirit Siphon should ensure yet another kill for GPK. He is 3-0 to start things out. And you're right, the tower's still not denied. Let's see what they have plans for here. There's no Treant Protector this time around. What if there was a creep, that healing creep that heals for like 2 health? What if you could heal towers, Syndra? So Doom's entire purpose in life is to sit next to the tier 1 tower and heal it by 2 every second. What do you think, buddy?
Stick to Valorant, buddy.
Okay, sounds good. Watch that be in the next update, by the way. How many of my suggestions have been in this freaking game? Is the tier 1 tower is attempting to be denied, but GPK is just going to take it for himself. So they waited a little too long, Synderin.
Yeah. Again, I just feel like this is inevitable, right? Are you trying to bait something by leaving this tower there, or are you like hoping they're going to come push it and you take a team fight with Ravage? You haven't skilled Ravage, or you didn't have it yet. You haven't skilled Doom yet either, so you didn't really have the tools to defend it. So in my opinion, just get rid of it, move on. But they leave it for GPK. He's getting really, really big on this DP, by the way. Having a great game so far. Only 1k gold lead, but it is of course against Doom, so in reality maybe a little bit more if you think about power levels, if you will, or whatnot. A 5-0 advantage for VP. I'm looking for what's the first move for Viking, right? We haven't really seen them try to do any aggressive movement at all. And that's kind of the issue you have when you put a Doom mid in a tied offlane, right? You have these 2 melee boys that need some time. So who does your Earth Spirit really play for? I'd love to see them take some initiative with the first Doom usage sometime soon, perhaps, as they just full-on concede their top tier 1 as well.
Indeed.
It's
we might be in some trouble. Of course, Epileptic Kid doesn't really have a whole lot of damage to speak of because it's only from Might. It's actually just purchased, but with the Chrono into the freezing field, more than enough damage. Actually, GPK came just to steal that kill. He's like, guys, I'm on a killing streak. I need to continue this. Please, thank you.
make sure that less heroes in your team get streaks, so that if you die and lose a fight, it's only 1 streak instead of 3. Very next level.
Great. That is next level. Absolutely.
Yep. This'll come in handy.
Bounty rune time looks to be a 2 for 2. No, 3 for 1 actually. DM will get the top one on the offlane side for the Radiant. So another victory there for VP. I'm looking at Vikings lineup now and I'm like, okay, what's the move, right? You're probably not happy if this just keeps on going. Your PA is not getting farmed enough that's fine. So you might have to either try to bait, where you have a Ravage relocate play, or you need to take the initiative with Doom. I think those are the 2 options. So smoking up the Doom plus Earth Spirit could be a way of finding that move. Coming for Earth, it is. I think that is go time. They want that level 6. They're going to rotate to bot, and they're going to try to make a dive. See if VP are ready for it.
He's not waiting for the... Okay, he's going back for the courier. There's level 6. So Magnetize now online. All their team fight technically available. Of course, like you said, PA not very farmed right now, so probably will not participate in any incoming fights unless he really has to. But this tier 1 tower is going to be pressured, and it looks like VP is just going to give it up.
They know what's
happening. Like we talked about, Yeah, it's kind of orchestrated here. Epileptic Kid with that Midas now, so he's just farming for the late game, and would likely not want to participate in fights if he doesn't have to either. You brought this up early game. Roshan is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And VP are almost guaranteed to get it, especially if they have the lead, because they just have a better lineup for it. But if Viking can somehow sneak that in at some point, but again, PA with no damage can be really difficult to do. But denying that Roshan would be a big deal overall.
Yeah, if they get it as Viking here, it's because they steal it. You can't realistically commit to Roche until PA has probably at least one major damage item after Battle Fury, or you flat out just win a team fight super convincingly, like 5-0. Because Doom is not a very good Roshan killer, Tide is not a very good Roshan killer, you have no medallion. The only thing you really have is an overcharged PA, which is definitely decent, but the damage just isn't there yet. Aramis top is being hounded. I don't know if they want to try to go for this. Doesn't look like it.
Looks like really juicy bait from VP's perspective, so maybe they're going to play some a little safer. GPK still with that killing streak. Doesn't have anything equipped to show off the killing streak. That's kind of unacceptable.
Oh, they're going on Aramis. Blink Dagger reveal.
Yeah, there's the jump in. Blink Dagger reveal. DM. Been able to clean him up very easily. Double TP here. Boom. Gets off the Doom onto Slardar. So this might be a trade which is definitely in favor of Viking. They're able to get this off, and they will. Very slow. Extremely slow kill. Because I don't think one crit came by for PA. But they'll take it. Shad goes to farming.
It looked like VP had a pretty clear play call there. We're going to go for this play. If they TP in, we back off after. And DM couldn't get away, but they forced out the Doom. So now they feel confident going on Toby top with the DP plus Maiden. And he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a celebratory freezing field if I've ever seen one. But
indeed. Well, he got scared because the Frostbite instantly was dispelled by Kraken Shell, but...
yeah, guess what's not dispelled by that? Spirit Siphon, which is a big reason that DP is so damn good against this hero.
Very true. Still only level 1 Exorcism, so we'll only be able to pressure this tier 2. I assume that Viking will not give this one up for free. But the Exorcism is about to end, so I doubt that we'll continue on here. But DP on top of the net worth. Epileptic Hit on the Void, not too far behind with that Hand of Midas. And he also has the Iron Talon, which on the other side, unfortunately for Shad, does not have one of his own. Big discrepancy in carry potential here, Sinner, because of that Iron Talon.
Yeah, you'd probably rather have that than a Poor Man's Shield right now as the PA. Poor Man's Shield is not a bad item either by any means. Like, the 8 agility and the damage block is definitely useful. Unfortunately, against a hero like DP, it doesn't really do anything. And you would, especially in this game scenario as the carry, you just want to ramp up. And in the meta right now, it's a lot. For the carry is about just finding that first 1 or 2 big items. And Iron Talon is kind of just your go-to every single game on every carry if you can get it.
So when you're playing mid Doom, in Boom's case here, do you switch up your talent tree at all? Because typically I see people go for Scorched Earth movement speed and Scorched Earth damage at 10 and 15 respectively. Do you actually go for bonus gold if you're going for this more... I mean, can you even afford to do that, considering you already have a PA that's under farming right now?
I think you only go Devour bonus gold if it feels like it's going to be a long game. Like, if you think about the trade-off, right? It sounds like a lot, 120 Devour bonus gold. And I mean, it is a lot, right? It's an extra, what's that? It's an extra 120 GPM, basically. Close to that, 100 GPM. You just get 100 GPM.
Salary's dead.
Disappearing very quickly. So you can choose between 100 GPM, but it's at level 15 onward, which when is he going to hit that? Maybe level 20 something, 24, 23 at this rate? Or do you get the immediate Scorched Earth damage that could win you a fight and bring you into the game? If your team is doing well and you're on a roll, you could maybe take Devour bonus gold, but I think... Like, do people not always take the Scorched Earth talent, basically? I don't know if I've seen the Devour very much.
No, yeah, that's what I was bringing it up. I mean, yeah. I think it's... The bonus gold feels like a win more item, or win more talent, where you only take it if you're already considerably ahead.
Yeah, or if you're so screwed that you feel like there's absolutely no way we fight, and the only way we come back in the game is if I get an item 3 minutes earlier. 15 minutes, right? Or something like that. I don't know. It's,
Alright, well, Boom has his 10-second BKB now, and they're going to smoke behind Shad, who has the Battle Fury. Again, doesn't really want to fight until he has that second item. But we're going to see the Exorcism pops in the pit with VP and that Corrosive Haze. If Viking does not come immediately early, they're going to lose out on this rush. They're going to get the double damage. Boom is going to take it for himself right now. But it seems that they have absolutely no idea what's going on. So free Roche. Epileptic Kid now with the Aegis. Still has not finished technically a second item. I think is he actually going BKB first? Looks like it.
Wonder why.
Kinda interesting.
If VP are just like, okay, we had a good start, we're gonna hit this mid-game timing, and we want to not be able to lose this fight. The only way Epikid dies if he's BKB'd is by getting doomed. Like, the PA is not strong enough to kill him yet at this time. And in order to go on him, she obviously has to commit Phantom Strike, which puts her in a very precarious position against multiple things. Shackle Shot, against the Slaughterhouse Haze, Chrono, even the DP. When DP is in range of PA, you can't just ignore that damage. It's overwhelming at this point, because your evasion doesn't work. So, yeah, it's kind of tough. I wonder if you would always go for this BKB, though? Or if the game plan's just, okay, we're gonna try to win this game minute 25, I'll get my BKB, we go high ground with Exorcism, and if they fight us, I can't die. Because you could easily argue for a second farming item, right? With more build-up.
That's true. I mean, they don't have the, I wouldn't say it's the greatest Chronosphere setup, but they do have enough to get multiple kills if placed properly. As long as Exorcism and CM are on the outside. His DM's going to cancel this TP. Actually, Boom cancel himself, but he's going to find his way to the grave one way or the other. Although, Io, all right, well, nice
if the
save.
fountain is the grave, then you're right. But he will
next
live.
patch, just wait. I got a little inside information from Ice Rock.
Relocate kills tethered.
Fountain will be a grave site in the next patch. As
quad
he actually
crush?
brought some company now.
Fine.
So.
What happened?
Not a clear-cut victory one way or the other, so everybody lives.
Is under attack.
But still, 5k network lead for VP, and this tier 2 tower looks to be next on their list. Exorcism's up in about 5 seconds.
Yep.
And Ravage is down for another 60. So it's going to be a bit here before they can fully fight.
Yeah, they're just going to commit into this. Use their Aegis, use their Chrono. There's a Blink Dagger on the Wind Ranger, which should likely set up for at least a one-man Shackle Shot. And by that, I mean one person to a tree, not one person to nothing. That's not really very good. But
I feel like I've been one-man Shackle Shotted before, so I wouldn't throw it out there as an impossibility. There's a mango tree here, actually. It's taken out. That was a... Huh. Can you explain to me why some pros put the mango tree not in base? Is it just that you can't find as much value from using mangoes throughout the game, so you want the vision factor, even though it was literally right next to a tier 2? I mean,
if you think about it, the further out on the map you get it, the more accessible the mangoes are while you're crossing the map. So having it in base is the safest location to get the mango value, but there's something good to be said about placing it at strategic positions, like at a high ground where the enemy team is likely to invade, then you basically have a free ward. Or at this tower, it gives you a really good chance to flank because you get to see around the tower like you had a ward there. Unfortunately for Viking, though, they're not able to fight at all. But I think it's cool to see when teams don't just plop it in base every game, because I think the item has more uses than that. It's high risk, high reward, right? Let's call it that. Yeah. You could just lose it, but
fair enough, Cinderin. GPK's Exorcism's down. The tier 2 tower obviously taken out as well. So tower advantage continues to grow in favor of VP, which makes sense because network lead. The DM is going to pop into the eyes of Io, and this looks to be a very, very easy pickoff. I believe Io does have eyes. That's in the lore. You can look it up anytime you like.
Tide is money.
And 10-1 advantage. Viking just feeling like they just can't fight. I mean, they have the death now.
Oh, did he not see him? Oh, he did see him. Wait, did he? He doesn't want to use his invis on that. He wants a bigger fish, literally. Looking for Tide top.
That is a luxury you have when you're up 5k. Like, I don't want this kill. I want a different one. Oh. He'll be hiding in the trees. He's still working on his Blink Dagger, not too far away, so dying here would be a bit of a setback for sure.
All right, so tell me this. You're a master of lore, right?
No, I'm not. That was...
How can Slaughter not see Tide there?
Did he not take the night vision talent
no,
that he used to have?
He's so big. Like, how can you not see him? There's like a little bit of a line through the trees there.
That's not lore. That's physics. Dota is different in the...
I don't know if that's physics either, but let's say it's physics.
It's science.
Physics. It's science.
It's something scientific. Oh, Shad's gonna run right into Ilias. Ilias just gonna stand there. That just showing his prowess as a Crystal Maiden. Not scared of a PA right now.
I'm not gonna go for it.
So is this go time for Viking? Now that Toby has his Ravage back up, he's gonna have Blink. It's in his inventory actually, and Shad finally has that second item.
Yeah. It's probably the best timing they've had so far in the game because all of those things combine, right? Like you said, Dagger tied, Doom has BKB, enemy team just lost Aegis. It's definitely an opportunity. Could go for it. I think Viking have kind of placed this game in a box where they're like, this is a one-fight game in a way, where we need one big fight, so we're gonna play the game until we feel like we have the optimal conditions for that, and we have to win that fight. So if they don't feel ready, if they're like, nope, we also want a BKB on PA, then they're gonna wait for that too. I will tell you, it probably feels weird playing Tide and Earth Spirit with 0 assists minute 22. But that fight might be brought to them.
All right. They absolutely blow up Epileptic. It looks like VP had the advantage to start things out. They knew that where everybody was, but
great Blink Ravage.
The blink of an eye. Viking able to get 2 kills.
Yeah.
They can follow this up with any more. Boom wants to continue on. The tier 1 tower is still in their way.
Wait,
they might break up here.
Oh,
they'll take out this tier 1.
Middle tower
so finally an opportunity presented itself. There was a stray Void that didn't have backup, and that's just an easy Blink Ravage. Even if the other heroes are ready, again, we mentioned this about VP's lineup, they don't have any save, so if somebody gets caught by Ravage, you can't just Oracle T or whatever. There's no way of protecting that hero. You can't Blink Crush either, because then you're likely to get hit by the Ravage. Same with Blink Shackle Shot. It will probably expand to you unless you do some really funky Blink across the Ravage play. It's very difficult. So any hero that's stranded like that can just be picked up really quickly. And that's a pretty big swing. That's half their lead gone right there.
Yep, that was definitely big. I want to talk about this Aegis in a second.
Oh, Aramis is dead.
But yeah, Aramis is going to actually find his way to the grave, predicting this Death Cinderin. And I will be successful.
Good call.
There we go.
Good call.
So VP, they ended up taking the Roshan, and it felt like they kind of played it a little more passively. It felt like they put on Epileptic Kid who just purchased a BKB or was purchasing one. So he didn't change up his build at all. They didn't really look for a fight. I want to say they were just methodically taking down these lanes. Is it because of the Midas pickup from Epileptic they just want this game to go late? They're just basically delaying and extending your lead while you have that Aegis? They
did use it to take a tier 2 tower in mid, right? Did they take any more towers than that? Oh, Shad can't afford it. Oh my god, he got out. That was so close and so important.
He's good to go as well.
Wow, what an escape. I think maybe you could have tried to brute force the bottom tier 2 as well. Looks like they are pinging it now and want to do it. I don't remember exactly the timing with Chrono and the DP ulti being ready combined with the Aegis, but I do feel like you have a point that there might have been additional value that you could have got out of it. It's not super easy to just go and smack down the tower though. If the enemy team is set up, the bottom tier 2 tower could have been a bit complicated, but they got the rest, right? Like the map is still looking very good for them.
Yep. No, I'm not saying it was a mistake at all. I just found it interesting that they weren't really forcing anything, and then once the Aegis was gone, they kind of forced one there. They got a little excited with that Arcane Rune on DP, I do believe. Weren't able to really use it, though. Either way, looking at some item progressions here for VP. DM on the Slara, getting close to a BKB for himself. Epileptic Kid, MKB is next in the sights for him, as he is second in network behind PA, who has not only caught up, but taken the lead, Cinderin, overall in this game. And is he going for a BKB? Is that on the way right now? Oh, looks like the pit. Yeah. Roshan is being taken out again, and I don't know if Viking can get here in time. They're making their way over, like they have an idea.
This was T-Governor's prediction. 25-minute second Roche. That's pretty much spot on. And then he said, and then they just win the game. So let's see if he's right about that part. But he called the Roche timer, right? So he is half the way.
Not bad, not bad.
Let's see if they just win the game with that. MKB on Void is probably going to be waited for here. I think you are a little bit concerned with PA's item progression. Shad should be completing the BKB in just a second here, unless it is completed on a dead courier. Does he have a dead courier?
Yeah, that was good. He has a dead courier.
Yeah, so he should have that and almost a basher.
Is under attack.
He's very rich on the PA.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, he has bounce back big time. Working with the Imp Claw right now, has the Vampire Fangs in his backpack in order to lifesteal during downtime and whatnot. But Cheese and Aegis. So Cheese on GPK. So even if he's in a bit of trouble, he can always Yules into a Cheese to save himself if needed. Obviously has the plate mail now. So Shiva's is pretty close to actually being finished.
That's so funny to be Yules into a Cheese. Sounds like some sort of magic spell where you just become Cheese.
It's a new artifact card that's coming out.
Oh, wonderful.
Yules into Cheese. It's a combo. It's a dual color card. Yeah, it's really good. I made that up, by the way. I know you think I'm being serious.
Yeah, I really do.
I can tell when you don't understand the context of my jokes, you know? So I just have to explain it. Like when people think that you and I fight all the time, that we hate each other. Like, yeah, we continue to work together year after year. But yeah, I fucking hate Cinder. And
the money's just too good, man. Can't say no. What am I supposed to do?
Too much money to turn down. What can I say?
That's got to be it.
By the way, he did go Devour bonus gold.
Yep.
So after talking about that, we'll be going for that.
I think, again, like we talked about with the...
You're gonna have to hold your horses, Cinder, and Armus is dead. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah, he died very fast.
Bonus
Often
gold.
how it seems to go when Starter jumps people. There's something about that hero that just kills people.
So you're saying that hero may or may not be nerfed. Have you seen the patch notes ahead of time?
Entirely possible.
Are you leaking it?
Yes, I will leak it. The game will change.
Wow. That's...
There you go. Yeah.
Ice Frog is going to cut you off forever now. That was private information.
In all seriousness, though, the Scorched Earth, right? It kind of fits that story that we were talking about when you would take Devour bonus gold. It really feels like a talent you only take if you're either mega ahead and feel like you don't need the Scorched Earth damage and you can just get bigger, or if you're avoiding every fight for a long time. They've got 3 kills in 30 minutes. It looks like they're going to keep going for that. They're just going to keep building up the bank and try to get bigger items for later.
They're not even... I mean, the score line can be a bit deceiving because the net worth not... I mean, 4K lead is decent at this stage, but it's not insurmountable by any means. It's not.
It's against Doom.
At all.
It's always a bit dangerous with those metrics, right? It's like saying that an Alchemist is okay because you're only 4K behind. But if you're 4K behind with Alchemist, you're mega behind, right? Because you have to be ahead. Doom is still 2 people behind the Prophet. So, yeah, just in raw numbers, it doesn't look too bad. But if you didn't have the Doom ability here, it would be a 7 or 8K lead. The Doom ability accounts for a lot of the gold here. So. So they're definitely still behind. But
couldn't tell which way you were going with that, but obviously Doom can delete pretty much anybody in the right situation. But now they're using this Aegis to pull through. What?
Late on that TP, DM will chase.
The TP, DM looking for Shad. Celery does have his ultimate, is popping it now, so Shad should be safe. Away they go. Might cost Io his life, but well worth it for sure. Not only going to cost 1 life, but you save the PA, you save your tier 3 potentially in the bot lane, which is now full HP thanks to the repair kit, and all it costs is Celery's life. So I think, again, like this whole trend of Viking not wanting to take fights, they use it to perfection here. And of course, repair kit does help.
It does, and again, they're just delaying the game. It's honestly very interesting to watch this game because this is something I think is difficult in this patch in general and has been for months, is to avoid fighting in this patch. Usually it feels like you get forced to do it at some point. You have to take that inevitable fight. But Viking have managed for these 30 minutes to, with the exception of 1 Ravage that killed a Faceless Void, they've barely pressed a button against the enemy team for 30 minutes. They've just been pushing out waves, splitting up the map, making VP move for them, and yeah, VP get a little kill here or there, but guess what? It's 0 kills on PA, it's 1 kill on Doom. The rest of them, it's mainly supports that have died, and the Tide in the earlier stages of the game got focused a lot. So the game plan can still be executed. Oh, looks like it's go time. Doom Shiva, PA Basher, anything else? Yule's Earth Spirit. Pretty much it.
But remember, the Yule's cheese is still there, Cinder, for VP.
This is why they're waiting for that Aegis. And now they want to find a Doom on the Void, I think. Doing DP also good, if you do it before Exorcism comes out. Indeed. Can't use the cheese then.
Yeah, VP no, though. I feel like this is a bit obvious.
Fortune.
Pro players do keep track of timings, believe it or not. Now the question is, does VP want to force a fight at any point, or are they happy with it? It feels like both teams are kind of happy with going late game.
They definitely, both teams can win this game minute 60 as well. It's not that. I think VP are very aware of the position that they're in the game, where the way back for the Dire lineup consists in finding one good moment where they wipe and get Roche, so they've never ever really put their lineup at risk when Roshan could spawn. They know there's another 2 to 3 minutes now until the minimum spawn timer, so they could still, if they wanted to, look for a fight here. But most importantly, they just don't want to give away any freebies to
Radiant's bottom
mainly the
tower is
PA.
under
Abyssal
attack.
online, by the way,
Radiant
for Shad.
structures are fortified.
Yep. Shad
400
is a monster.
CS.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
After losing
Not
their
bad.
towers really early, he is still the big breadwinner.
He's 2-0. The scorelines are
been in
so
all
weird
their
this game. One assist, that's literally all their kills. That's true. It's unbelievable. And the fact that we're talking about Viking could genuinely win this game, I don't feel like they're that far behind right now. But we'll see how even this game is with the first actual team fight incoming, Cinder. And one of these days, S&Y and Epileptic Kid, by the way. What do you think of that at this stage? 32-minute S&Y.
I guess he wants to turn it into Halberd plus Butterfly, I'm gonna say. So he's just getting it for the immediate value and then he's gonna disassemble it. Not sure. If he's not gonna do that, he might go Satanic S&Y as well for the status resistance against Doom, which is very common. He can disassemble his Mask of Madness to build Butterfly plus Satanic. That's probably the more likely thing. He's just stacking up that status resistance with his Titan Sliver as well. Doom is gonna last like, I don't know, 6-7 seconds on him when he has all his stuff. It's survivable, but
I know you're a real fan of status resistance, but one thing I do like about status
love me some
resistance in a
good
game like
status
this,
resistance.
I'm actually a fan. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I've been too ashamed of myself to admit to you publicly that I do like status resistance. HP, that was a whole different story. Like that, I didn't like that very much. But regardless, not having to go something like Lincoln's against a Doom sounds kind of cool, man. Finally, another quasi solution, if you want to call it that, with status resistance. If you just stack up on it. All for Doom. That's why I like it. Literally one hero.
I mean, sometimes you wonder the way that new concepts make it into the game. If somebody was just like, man, I hate this hero so much, how can we conceptually make that type of gameplay bad? You know?
I thought you were going to say they were on drugs, but that also makes sense, I guess.
I'm still waiting for them to find out that they actually do hate techies and that the only solution is to either remove it or rework it entirely.
All right, let's put this to bed real quick. It's been common knowledge that Icefrog has always hated techies, right? And people have been saying since Dota 1, that he will delete the... He's not being deleted, okay? It's not happening. Oh, this is a refresher shard Roche.
Heroes have been deleted before. I just want to say, not in Dota 2, but in Dota 1 we've had 3 heroes deleted, okay?
The Gambler, RIP. Now the Aegis, Chi, and Refresher Shard, Aramis might have to sacrifice himself because he is late to the party. Exorcism was used.
It's a very early exit from GPK. I wonder if they can hit some tower with it. They have a mid-wave, but no glyph, so they can't keep it alive, but the next one's coming. And nobody's cutting it. So.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if they can get a tower now. Repair kit was on the Earth Sphere. He dropped it into the fountain. We'll see if somebody picks it up and uses it here.
So we already has it.
Does just that. So this will just delay the inevitable, which is at the very least a tier 3. And meanwhile, the bottom lane, Shad and company looking to maybe try and force them out. Exorcism is ending. Repair kit continuing on, apparently. As they're going to TP onto Shad here. Remember, Io still has that ultimate, and we'll probably have to use it here. Oh my god, this is going to be close, though. All right, never mind. It's an Io. I forgot, guys. And that means it's a split-up fight here for
good
VP.
chrono, though.
Here onto 2. Looks like PA is just going to get beat down by Epileptic Kid. There's the bash, but it's not going to be enough. The Abyssal Blade to counter it. Now, Epileptic Kid in a bit of trouble. He has the Aegis impact still. The Ravage still online for Toby, as Crystal Main is going to pop that ult, basically zoning at this stage. Nobody has died some way, somehow. Bottom lane, in the meantime, Shad is still here, going after DM. Right clicks are not going to be enough, as Save does take him out with the help of the rest of his team. So after all of that, they finally get PA, and that's it so far.
Yeah, Doom was expended, though, so that's another half kill, you could say. such a huge part of Viking strategy is having that Doom, and it's just not available. So GPK gonna go in again. Exo
allows GPK to pop the Exorcism again, so this should be a rack if they don't buy back onto PA. But based on how they've been playing this game overall, and Ravage still online, I think they just give this up
Dire's middle
and probably try to defend this. I don't know if they can let 2 racks down at this stage.
I don't think they have a choice. I mean, they could buy back the PA and try this fight, but there's still Aegis as well, and Cheese.
Kobe jumps in, still has the Ravage. There's the buyback. They think he doesn't have it. That's going to be the Aegis just like that. And now DM's going to drop to the grave as well. So if they can get this Void, this would be pretty freaking big. The Abyssal Blaze online, that's an easy kill once he's locked down like that. So a 2-for-1 if you want to count the PA and all this. Like, oh my Shad! To 0. CM is donezo. GPK, BKB TPs. A little bit messy from VP, but they do get what they came for, which is that mid-rack.
Yeah, the really big thing there is that Slaughter gets ravaged, and if it's only the Void's Aegis, he's happy to expend that to get ravaged, but losing the Slaughter basically is the nail in the coffin for that fight, and then a perfect roll. Really, really good timing from Aramis to connect the roll immediately on the Aegis, and might even get GPK here. He has Cheese. He has E on this. Buyback.
Tip of his base, and this does pop save. With that ult now. Buyback on the Crystal Maiden, Toby. Remember? Ooh, the right clicks again. More than enough to take him out. As DP looks to be next on the list. Viking.gg. Somehow behind by 5K the entire game and basically not fighting the entirety of the game. That kind of turned this game a bit.
They were behind 13K. They were behind 13K 1 minute ago.
Really?
They gained 10K gold in 1 minute, yeah.
Goodness
2 buybacks. It was Maiden and Windranger, but they got some big core kills. They got the Void, Slaughter, and DP, all 3 of them taken out there with that chase. Just awesome plays from Aramis, really. The perfect roll in the base, so Void couldn't BKB and try to TP out, or BKB time walk, and then he gets this additional catch with this long roll chase against the Death Prophet. Catches her outside the base, and they connect. And suddenly, that's all it took. It was that one overextension in the Dire base, and it's such a hard call for VP to make that is going to turn out bad. Like you said, they didn't expect the buyback, perhaps, because it had been that long.
Yeah, they waited a long
time. Viking just communicated and played very, very well. Patience.
Yeah, really well played from Viking. And now we're getting close to the level 25 mark for a few of these heroes. And by a few, I mean literally one. It's just Shad all alone. Level 24 now. Do you have a preference this game? He's going for a nullifier, by the way. Very strong item on PA.
Yeah, counters out the DP Andis. Counters out Windranger's Windrun, since he does not have an MKB on the PA. Pretty solid, I think. Covers against potential Ghost Scepters. Ilias places the Alps, but it's too late. There was a potential catch there against Aramis, but he goes away.
Tier 4 item checkup, Cinder. My favorite discussion, well, second favorite behind tier 5s that we rarely get. Havoc Hammer. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns today. So Boom has the Havoc Hammer, one of my personal favorite items. Shad is going to continue on with the Orb of Destruction, which is the tier 3 item. Idehunter has an Illusion Escape as bait, I suppose, if nothing else.
Bats are also decent, but yeah.
Yeah, that is true. And a Timeless Relic on Earth Spirit for now, along with Magic Lamp on Celery.
Could consider, I mean, I guess you could make a case for putting the Timeless Relic on Doom, right? And then you could give Havoc Hammer to Tide. But I think the good thing about having an Earth Spirit is that he has way more reliable spells to use multiple times during the fight, so the debuff duration on that is more likely to give you some sort of value.
All right, and then the other side, because we want to compare neutral items here, Cinder. Windrunner has the Timeless Relic, Epileptic Kid Minotaur Horn. Slaughter has an Illusion Escape, so another kind of weird one to have it on. Yeah. And then DP, the big one, I think. Spell Prism. Whew. Maybe not a better tier 4 item for that hero.
It is really, really good for sure.
Radiant are scanning.
Guess in some situations you'd rather have a horn, but yeah, Spell Prism is pretty crazy.
You do have a horn, Cinder. You could just swap it if you'd like.
Yep. But I mean, it's about the type of situations that happen, right? Like, there's moments where the horn is better, but most of the time this is better. That's what I was getting at. Whereas for Void, it's the other way around, right? Most of the time, the Hornet's better.
There's the smoke.
This could be scary.
That has the nullifier online. It's going to jump in. The Ravage is there. They're not going to use the nullifier onto Ilias as of yet, because he's going to be an easy kill one way or the other. But there's the Chronosphere onto 3 heroes with Winner on the backside, doing so much damage to PA. The buyback onto the Tidehunter. There's the Doom finally used, but Boom is going to cost him his life immediately. Save in the meantime. Looks like VP wins this fight handily. PA is now dead. No buyback to speak of. And again, Tide did buy back Toby, but he's already used Ravage.
Yeah. They know there's no buyback on PA. They forced it in the top fight previously, so they know this is a 4-on-4 without the strong enemy hero that kills them and without a throne.
They are going for Throne. Nice silence on the 2 heroes. Epileptic Kid jumps in with that time dilation as well. Windrunner trying to deal as much damage to these tier 4s as possible. Still 90 seconds on the deck. Viking need to hold on. They will continue. Of course, this is just game 1 of this best of 3. As VP are already being forced back, so they don't even get a second Rax right now if they end up getting pushed out here. Cheese is finally popped onto GPK. He's extremely slow. Still has the BKB in tow. Actually holding onto the Aeon Disc in his backpack to prevent the nullifier, but of course, PA is dead. But still, they still have 60 seconds despite being pushed back here. So just resetting a bit. Exorcism up in about 36 seconds. So they'll be forced into getting a second rack instead of going for Throne. Which for Viking is a huge win.
Aramis did spend all his spells and a lot of his stones to pressure the Wind Ranger and Slaughter out of base, so he doesn't have as much in the tank right now, and therefore he's going to yield. They will get the second lane of racks. I just want to point out what led to this whole thing. Epikid was so fast to reacting, so when the smokes break, he instantly time walks away from the Blink Doom, so he already has in his mind that this is what is about to happen. He's planned out this fight entirely. I'm going to be in range to get Blink Doomed, but I will immediately pop out. First, I think he Minotaur Horned the Ravage, and then he time walked the Doom, and then he BKB'd and got a big chrono when they had the Exorcism running. He got a chrono, and I think it was IOPA +1. Just really outstanding individual play from him in that fight. Just gave VP a big win. And Aramis's spellcasting on defense on the other side basically probably kept him in the game. So, good stuff.
The 4th Roshan will be up in 20 seconds. We're going to have an Ags, Refresher Shard, Cheese, and Aegis. And this is a fight Viking 100% have to contest.
Yeah, they can't
not see a way for them to win this if they don't get this.
All spells are online.
There's a smoke from Viking, or from VP, I should say. Aramis is in a lot of trouble here, potentially, but they're expecting more around. Oh my god, Botan. Are you serious? Who gets the Ags? This is going to be the Faceless Void indeed. So now you have the Time Lock combination, if you want to call it that. And just like that, that might be it.
That might be the world's 2nd fastest Roshan. Actually, it's not, but it's up there. The fastest, of course, being Miracle with 50 Spark Wraiths. But this is definitely top 5 percentile Roshan kills right there.
Can you still do that with Arc Warden, or did they change something?
I think you can.
That was with an Arcane Rune, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you had Arcane Rune at one point as well. You can, right? Did it get changed?
Oh, pretty sure you can. All right, well, Refresher Shard now in the backpack of DP, so they're going to have 2 Exorcism along with the double item usage, of course. Epileptic Kid has the Aegis, no surprise there. It's going for a Divine Rapier next, and like you said, did equip the Ags for himself. Was that the correct choice? Let's look at the options we have here sooner. The best subject in the world. CM's Ags, meh. Windrunner is, I mean, it's good if good Ags, but this game not needed, of course. DP, at this stage, not a big deal to have an Ags. I think that's more of an earlier game, in my opinion.
Slaughters could have been pretty good.
Yeah, Slaughters is very good. But I think for this game, the time walk thing is just good.
Yeah, and now he has complete True Strike. He actually has 175% chance to hit right now, so he will hit every time. With both
it's like
the
when
Rapier
athletes say, I'm going to give 110% effort today, as if that's a thing. All right, GPK pops that exorcism. Here's the Chronosphere. It's only onto one, but it is a very important hero in Doom.
No buyback.
And he goes down before even being able to spend his ultimate. This looks like the beginning and end of Viking in game number 1. BKB Papa after like hit still has the Aegis in tow. The buyback onto the Earth Spirit, but looks like this is going to be mega creeps, if not more. Toby still has the Ravage. Not really finding an opportunity to use it there. It's going to get silenced to start things out. And Divine Rapier, like you said, on Epilepticus. So these buildings will absolutely melt. And now he has a 20% backtrack as well. So not really fearing anything on top of all that status resistance. Here, 4 towers are down. There's the Ravage on several heroes. But do they have enough damage to follow this up? Take out the CM, who buys back into the game. But PA just melts under the pressure. Not even remotely close. As the right click will favor VP big time in game number 1. A really cool game from Viking. I'm not going to lie. I was really impressed the way they did it because they got off to a bad start. But the way that they played it was really cool. Just not able to pull it out this time around.
I think they managed to keep the game within reach, but eventually, like, what do you think the track record is for a team that loses 4 Roshans in a row winning the game? Like, it's rough, right? It kind of ends up being the deciding factor where, yeah, Viking had one really good team fight where they pulled back from a 13k deficit to 3, but it felt like they were always behind and they were never on.